now it's the second day, part 2 of our trip along the Wiseman's Ferry Road towards Wiseman's Ferry. We are currently at St Albans. Yes, that's the St Albans Bridge back there. As you see, it was pretty narrow. Only one vehicle could get through at a time. Don't want to get through there in a hurry. Yep, an old Indian. Don't see many of them these days. Very rare. Yep, a couple of king parrots there. We've got the female up there, less colourful than the males. The males have a very bright red crimson chest sort of thing, and there's a lot of bird life around here. Yes, when Governor Phillip first came to explore the area in 1799, he called this particular part of the Hawkesbury River region the McDonald Valley, and it became a very important part of the early days of settlement here in Australia, because St Albans was set up as basically a trading post. An area where to connect Sydney to the Hunter region. They've got the convicts to build the roads through here. Can you imagine building a road through these rugged mountain ranges here? It would have been very difficult back in those days. No bulldozers then. As you can see, it's a camping spot. Here you can camp here. So if you want to explore New South Wales a bit more, St Albans is a great place to come to. It's about 75 kilometres away, 80 kilometres away from Sydney on the old North Road. And yes, a lot of people do come here for the day. People come here, spend a few days here. People live here. It is a very picturesque place. I thoroughly recommend that you come here if you're ever in Sydney. Yes, the Settlers' Arms Inn was built in its current form in 1836. It's also said to be haunted, as I, the other day, tried to have a drink with the ghost. He never showed up, so I guess he was a bit shy. Now, as the other day, I tried to have a drink with him, the ghost. He didn't show up. Maybe I didn't see him, or he did show up, I didn't know. Either way, there was a ghost somewhere. So people have seen the ghost, or said they've seen the ghost, but the Hawkesbury is full of many mysteries. So who knows what mysteries lie here. The ghost of old convicts, settlers. Yes, it would have a very interesting history if the walls could talk. So now we're going to continue on to Wiseman's Ferry. Be interesting to see what we find. Yes, we're right in the middle of the McDonald Valley in the Hawkesbury region. As you can see, there's quite a bit of fertile grassland here. and the beef cattle are grazing contently in the fields. Well, we call them paddocks here in Australia. As you can see, you've got the ranges dominating the valley all the way along, and we shall continue to explore our journey on this road trip. Yep, as you can see, they're quite content, the cattle. Got a couple of calves among them, a couple of horses over there as well. Yeah, it's a nice little place here. Yes, we've got a bit of a swamp happening here. One of the problems with the McDonald Valley has to deal with is floods. When it rains a lot, it is prone to flooding, as you can see. That's what happens when the floods hit. But it's also a bit of a swamp area, so yeah, interesting area. Yes, we're now on the Wiseman's Ferry hunt, going across the Hawkesbury River. Yeah, and so we're going to have a look at Wiseman's Ferry. And it looks like it's going to rain. Yes, Wiseman's Ferry. This is what gives it the name Wiseman's Ferry. As you can see, there's no bridge across this particular section of the river, so they are reliant on the ferry to get traffic across. This ferry has actually been here since 1829, which means it's one of the oldest ferries locations in Australia. Continuously operating since 1829. Yes, the ferries were first started by a fellow by the name of Solomon Wiseman, a former convict who became a free settler. And Governor Phillip gave him a bit of, well, actually I think it was Governor Macquarie, but one of the governors gave him some land grants. He started this ferry, and it's been continuously operating since 1829, even before that. And the area, Wiseman's Ferry town, is named after Solomon Wiseman, who built the ferry, built the hotel. And I'm going to get inside before it gets really, really wet. Yes, there's a bit of a storm happening right now here in Wiseman's Ferry. We are standing in front of the Wiseman's Ferry Hotel, named after Solomon Wiseman. He was lightning crash. Just lightning bolt struck down there. Woo! Yeah, so it was pretty interesting to be here. Oh man, I wish I had the camera facing that way. We should have the camera facing that way. Yeah, so it's this hotel is also reputed to be haunted. So we might see if we can get a drink with one of the ghosts. As you can see, this is Wiseman's Ferry. It's actually quite a popular spot. There's a campground down there. A lot of bike riders come here. I used to ride a lot here when I was younger. Yes, very interesting place. Yes, Governor Macquarie was the fellow who gave Solomon Wiseman his pardon, and he gave him a land grant, which is where he built his little hub. And therefore he started his business supplying the convict road gangs, supplies, provisions, stuff that built the old North Road. and which is part of the still use today. We're pretty much waiting for the rain to stop. Yeah, so Wiseman's Ferry. There's several ghosts meant to be haunting this place. So we shall continue our journey. Right, so we've just done a road trip along the old Wiseman's Ferry Road up to St Albans, round a bit and back to Wiseman's Ferry, and you can come to Wiseman's Ferry from Sydney, which is about 75 to 80 k's, it's about a 2-hour drive. They say you can get there by public transport, but it'll take an awfully long time, so you'll be best to drive or to ride to get there. But it's definitely a worth a visit to visit the Hawkesbury region, and we shall continue on other road trips. This is Mick Angelhere from Mick Angelhere's Australia.